Minneapolis' Somali American community is asking the State Department for a full investigation into the assassination of a well-known lawmaker from Minnesota.
Saado Ali Warsame was gunned down on a main street in Mogadishu today. Her driver was also killed. Warsame is the fourth member of the government to be killed this year. And as Reg Chapman reports, Warsame's art and politics made her a household name in Somalia and to many in Minnesota.
Saado Ali Warsame was a prominent figure in traditional Somali music. Her songs centered on political and social justice. Her politics fell right in line with her music.
She was trying to unite the people and also used her name to advocate against corruption, against weak government, trying to really help move Somalia forward from the civil war.
Abdulrazak Bihi says Warsame was one of a few women outside of Somalia elected to parliament. She came to Minneapolis during Somalia's civil war in the early 1990s and returned to her homeland to serve as a lawmaker in 2012. Her death has sent the Somali American community here into mourning. Warsame was a true hero to many.
She doesn't live in a castle. She lives with you. She eats with you. She is in the mall. She shops where you shop. She's a people's person.
Bihi hopes her death leads to others dedicating their lives to fight for social and political justice here in Minneapolis and in Somalia. He and others hope her death leads to an international effort to find those responsible for silencing the voice of a nation.
So it is a great loss, and I think, therefore, the State Department must launch an investigation on this killing of the U.S. citizen in Mogadishu City today.
Reg says Warsame is the second lawmaker to be killed during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The al-Qaeda group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the deadly attack.
Now to a story on the minds of many in the metro. A drive-by shooting in Mogadishu takes the life of a popular musician turned politician. And though the killing happened in Somalia, it has ties to the Twin Cities. Fox 9's Tom Lydon has this story tonight. And Tom, I understand that you have met Saado Ali Warsame.
I did, briefly a few years ago. I remember her being very charismatic. She was not only passionate about music, but also politics, and saw both as sort of intersecting callings. And yet she was also pragmatically aware of the dangers in leaving Minnesota and returning to help her country. She was an icon known to Somalis around the world. And for more than a decade, singer Saado Ali Warsame called Minnesota her home in exile. Community leader and diplomat Omar Jamal knew her for years.
The day I introduced you to her, she was about to go to England, London, to do some more performance.
And she kept performing when she returned to Somalia a couple years ago to represent her clan in parliament. There on the streets of Mogadishu today, Warsame was gunned down in her car along with her driver. The terror group Al-Shabaab claiming responsibility.
A bunch of guys with a uniform, military uniform, opened a hail of bullets, and they killed her and her driver. It was one of the most saddest news the Somali community has ever received.
And because she's a U.S. citizen, Jamal is calling on the U.S. to investigate the assassination. The State Department pointing out the attack occurred during the holy month of Ramadan, saying Warsame exemplified, quote, all the best qualities of Somali culture and tradition. A spokesperson for Al-Shabaab says Warsame wasn't targeted for her music, but her politics. Quote, she was killed because she was a member of parliament. All the lawmakers are sentenced to death until they leave parliament. But Warsame's music always did make a statement. One of the first women to perform without covering her head, her early folk songs were critical of former President Siad Barre and his indulgent lifestyle, even as his people starved. He was overthrown in 1991, and Somalia has been in chaos ever since. But Warsame was back, making a difference through music and politics. And for that, she paid with her life. Warsame is the fourth Somali member of parliament to be assassinated this year, presumably all of them by Al-Shabaab. Public remembrances are planned in Mogadishu, of course, London, Rome, Toronto. There will also be an event tomorrow night at the Brian Coyle Center in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood of Minneapolis. Details still being worked out on that, but we will have those over at myfox9.com. Guys, back to you.
All right, Tom.